The repulsive forces of unidentified flying objects, the mechanics of the universe, unseen, absences in a topic that has not been rewritten. The book Repulsive Forces of Flying Saucers from Lexotype Publications explains the unexplained for mankind, the unknown, the incomprehensible for what is outside the world of attraction. Anything that cannot be answered by human reason, the writer says, I call apostate. I have written some theoretical evidence for this world that embraces gravity, and I'm the first to mention it exploring the unknown and its unknown forces. Because with technology, man can make the transition to another higher level for elevation and evolution. Unidentified flying objects have repulsion in their system. Just as places and planets and people are repulsive, repulsion is a big world in size and is a yardstick for our little attraction. There is a mystery, and it must be solved sometime by chasing it. In the book Flying Disc Repulsion Forces, the dynamic poles are described and some facts about repulsion that took me years to confirm and write down. And when we say repulsion, it sounds something different from what we know in the physical world, namely a repulsion of like poles. Absence exists out of necessity for the existence of opposites in the cosmic firmament. It's a fundamental law, and this law concerns large amounts of energy. All the layers above our own space are repulsive, and some are so completely repulsive that in order to get there by craft and touch the ground of a planet outside the solar system, you will need the fourth type of repulsion. Hence, the craft has the pure repulsion as it exists, and in the distant intervals, it becomes one with them. When one thinks about repulsion, one will change one's view of the sun rays and the cosmic rays, and one would change one's view of the quanta and the 4 or 5 elements that the universe is made of. There's nothing universally written about this world of unknown forces, and which we call strange. Now, the ancient Greeks seem to have known of this through sacred geometry. What reminds us a bit of something strange is the symbolism of the myth of the snake, but with a very big distortion of the knowledge they give us. Energy is a tree of life, and power wraps around it. The force with its poles has very great power. It can be transformed into electricity while it's not. Force can have the beginning, and energy can be dynamic. Abductions come from very subtle and at the same time powerful spectra. They affect planets with their vibrations. The air quark then does its job well, as it is repulsive, and it will bridge the compatible with the incompatible world, the visible and the invisible world in us humans. The flying discs, UFOs, that I'm describing attract repulsion, are a distinct dynamic energy like the one at Cape Tenaro. They have the repulsive force. They work with it, which is also energy, but with the principle of force, their energy is dynamic. Energy is one thing and power is another, according to Aristotle, Alexander the Great's teacher, as we know. It's very important to know this distinction and to be able to go deeper and thus explore the infinite. Since I may also be read by people who happen to know metaphysics or have dealt with what cannot be explained by physics, I do not rule out that they may also be the Pythagoreans. I have to add about energy and power that Aristotle made the distinction because primarily, I think, according to what I have studied, that in initiation it plays a role in whether you touch the world of ideas. So energy is preferable because before one reaches the world of ideas, where the ether is overseen by Apollo, the initiated philosopher remains in the potentials. The Apollonia energy is everything, so that you don't remain a mere spectator to the idea, but bring it to life and do work for the great and the good to reach the afterlife. In flying saucers, however, it matters whether you have the repulsive potential to reach the beyond, to the end of the universe. And the author says, in this book I write about flows, those that have to do with current and not with fluids. This flow concerns rivers of energy that is under the earth as well as above the earth. Unidentified flying objects draw energy from the etheric field with fire that burns without a flame and have reverse poles in the energetic fields. Repulsion is part of the etheric world and another element still beyond it. It's over the top. And this book is addressed to the researchers of the unknown because there are other worlds and other universes and other systems beyond what we imagine or have been told. It is dedicated to the freedom of man because this technology lifts him up, makes him a quote-unquote god. Aposis is space itself. It is a cosmic laboratory capable of putting an end to the primitive civilization of man. It disturbs but man-founded doctrines and religions. Only an advanced space civilization can unite with another and give a defining meaning to what we call life in space and creation. Being able to understand this is a matter of perception. And this is by Maria Anthi. I've translated this from a Greek article. Please leave your comments and thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.